The title of this morning's service is Love Makes the World Go Round. Does anyone here ever read the news? We're lucky to get the free paper if you live in London. And we read wonderful news every day about terrorist attacks and murders and things, right? But how does that make you feel when you read these things? Like, does it ever make you feel, how is world peace ever possible? How can there be such evil, especially when like really awful things happen, you know? Does it ever make you feel like really like low or like, oh my gosh, like how is it possible? How can we ever achieve world peace, right? So I feel like especially if you live in London, you become quite hard, like you become quite hardened. It's like, you know, if there was ever a terrorist attack, God forbid, in England, the likelihood is that it would be in London, you know. And I know that straight after the one in Belgium, Brussels, oh gosh, I'm really bad. I just felt really anxious. And like, you know, if someone was carrying a big backpack, I would like not get on that train, you know, and wait for the next one. Like I'm a bit overly anxious anyway, but it really made me feel quite anxious and scared. And I lived in the countryside and in the city, and I feel like both have their pros and cons, but I think, you know, if you're walking down the street in London, say there was one other person walking towards you, it's like maybe 6 a.m, maybe you're headed somewhere like service or something, and you're walking towards them, and they're walking towards you, you probably wouldn't think twice just to put your head down, right? Why? Because you might get mugged, or there's that fear, right? And because you're both feeling it, you both choose to not say hello, or good morning, or whatever. But when that happens in the countryside, like when I go home to my parents' house, they're like, hello, all right? Like, you know, like, and then I always feel bad because I don't say it. I'm like, should I say it? Should I say it? Should I say it? Dang it, I didn't say it. You know, like, oh, no, but you know what I mean? Like, because everyone is doing it, everyone is saying hello to each other. It kind of rubs off on each other, and people are kind of much more friendly. Of course, less happens there. Like their papers are like Dolly the sheep escapes from pen, or like prize-winning cabbages at the state fair. Like legit, like. I saw the paper and I was like, oh my days, nothing ever happens. You know, like, or fundraising for charities or like, anyway, it's nice stuff, right? But not a lot happens there, but people are much more friendly. So in the shop, people will ask how your day's been. Oh, I like them sausages, they're really nice. Having them for your tea. Like people will literally make conversation with you in the aisle or something, you know. So when my mum comes to London, she often like tries to like strike conversation on the tube. I'm like, Mum, please, no. But the point is, like, we live day to day in like an urban jungle, like we become hardened, and it can be easy to lose track of how we start to meld into that environment rather than standing out and rather than trying to pioneer something new. So, you know, whether that be like, you know, your war zone at school, or the crowded central line coming here, or the rowdy school bus, like when the kids are in the back, like playing their music really loud, and you're like, oh my gosh, like there's a lot of buzz and a lot of noise going on, right? And it can be easy to become like the crowd without even knowing it, whether that be gradually or like, you know, it kind of seeps in slowly. So let's try a little activity. So I was going to do it with all of this side or all of that side of the room, but I think it's going to take too long. So instead, if we start with this end of the row, so my right and your left, if the first person on that end of the row and the first person on that end of the row can compliment the person to their right, then that person, could you then compliment the person to your right until you reach the end of the row? So do you want to go ahead and do that now? If you don't know them, you can introduce yourself to them. Does that make sense? So the person on this end of the row, so Benjamin, Insha, Jonathan, Alex, please compliment the person to your right. And on this row as well.
It was really nice seeing when the music went. He was fine. I was in, well, he my team went down. Yeah.
Have you reached the end of the row yet? So,
Not BCC, not BC, I'm flying from BCC.
okay. So it's much easier to give a compliment if we feel like we've been filled up. Do you know what I mean? It can be quite hard to always give. Like, it isn't easy to give, especially when we feel empty. And it's interesting because on my way here, anyway, so I was coming to give a sermon, it's all about love and just give to everybody and all this kind of stuff in my head. And I went to Sainsbury's, so I got up at Bayswater, and I went to the Sainsbury's next to the station to buy the cake for this service. And anyway, on my way from the Sainsbury's to here, somehow my Oyster card with my money and everything got stolen, right? And like, it really hurt. Like, I was like so upset. And that's why I really, really thought like it's really hard to give when you feel like you've lost something. And okay, like I cancelled the card and that's fine, but it had cash in there that my mum had given me. Oh God. And my husband had just received a bonus at work, and he'd given it to me to put into my account just for our savings. And he was really proud that he'd got that like outstanding service award. And it really hurt, and I was just like, dang, like it's really hard to give when you feel like completely empty. But I had, you have to come and give a sermon or whatever. And it doesn't sound like a big deal, right? But and I also had his Oyster card on me and mine that he'd just topped up with like £100. Anyway, he'll go and cancel that. But it's just like, sometimes life sucks. And sometimes, it's like, I really felt like it was a lesson for me because it's easy to say, you need to love. But actually when we feel like hurt, it's really difficult and it's hard to forgive. Like, it's really hard for me to forgive that person who stole it. Because the likelihood that it fell out of my pocket is really not likely because I'm really careful. I'm overly careful. I was carrying the cake with both hands, so my pockets were kind of like free, right? So I think that's really why resentments grow and why bitterness grows, is because it's so hard to let go and it's so hard to forgive, actually. But how do we still give when we feel mistreated or when we feel angry? Like if that person was here right now, I'd probably tackle him or her, so the stereotype, to the ground, so what do we do in that instance and how do we react? So I'm going to show the first video. And I don't think it needs an intro really.
Hey, sir. Hey, sir. Have you happened to see my daughter around anywhere? I lost her about 2 days ago.
No, I haven't seen your daughter.
You haven't seen her? It's a really sad moment for me right now. I can't find her. We were shopping the other day, and then we lost her pretty much. This girl right here in the picture, have you seen her anywhere?
No, I haven't seen her.
You haven't seen her? Okay. All right, well, man. Have a good day, okay?
Sir,
Yeah.
can I take the paper? If I ever see her, I'll give you a call with that payphone over there.
Oh, okay, sure. Here, if you happen to see her anywhere, use the payphone here. I'll give you some money.
Oh, appreciate it. Yeah.
No worries, man. I'll give you some money. I'll give you a couple $. Just use the payphone. Go get something to eat, man. That's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm really hungry.
There you go, man.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sir. Hey, I came up to you earlier today with that paper.
Yes, I'm trying to help you get her back.
You've been out here the whole day holding that paper
That's right.
instead of that one, the cardboard.
this sign and get your daughter back home.
Bro, I've never seen anybody else, like I've never seen anybody like you before in my life, man. Do you know how much that means to me? What made you want to do that? Instead of you could have made a couple bucks and you could have gotten food, you could have ate. How long has it been since you ate?
Helping somebody instead of receiving is the better reward.
Man.
I know what it's like to be alone in the world. I want to make sure she gets home safely.
How long has it been since you eaten?
This morning I had some food out of the trash can.
I always go out, I always help out the homeless, but I've never seen somebody like you in my lifetime. Come here, man. Give me a hug, man. Give me a hug. I've never seen. That's awesome, man. Give me a hug, man. That's awesome. Wow, man. I'm speechless. I can't speak
I
right
can go
now.
and help you find your daughter. I can help you.
We were recording a video this whole time, right? And I was going up to different people and I was asking if they see my daughter. I actually don't have a daughter. It was for video purposes only. And I'm sorry that I wasted your whole day, but you know what? I really want to reward you. I'm gonna give you $200, okay? $200. You need it more than me, man. You're the first I've never seen in my life, man. You need that way more than I do. Way more than I do.
Thank you very much. I didn't expect this.
No, man. Don't cry.
Don't do
Man.
it.
Don't cry, man. Don't cry.
Wow, thank you.
No,
Thank
man.
you,
It's perfectly fine. Don't cry, man. That means a lot to me, man. I've never seen anybody in my lifetime do this.
sir. So, what was this for again?
It was I have a YouTube channel and I record videos for it and I help out homeless and I do other stuff. Is it fine if I use this clip? Camera guy's right there. Right there.
I can't have my family know about me. I just don't want them to know about me.
Oh, nobody knows you're homeless?
No.
Dude, seriously, it was such a beautiful video. We've been recording it this whole day. Just doing that, it was so beautiful, man. Is it okay if I blur your face? Like, just cover your face? Because
That's fine.
it's fine? That means a lot to me, man.
Yeah.
You care more about my daughter, somebody that you don't even know about yourself. And you haven't eaten the whole day. And people who have everything, they get bored in 30 minutes. And they have everything. They have everything in their life. They have a 2-story house, everything that they need in their life. And then there's people like you who help out people.
Thankful to have this beautiful city.
It's awesome, man. Here. Go get yourself a room for tonight, okay? Sleep good tonight, okay? Go eat.
Thank you very much.
No worries, man. Hey, man. Go get a room, okay? Have a good day, okay, man?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. God bless.
So I actually picked that before I lost all my money. So yeah, slotted in quite well. But yeah, I don't know how to expand on that because it is what it is, right? Although I don't always agree with these social experiments. I feel sometimes they're a bit kind of a bit extreme maybe. So I don't encourage you to go and fool a homeless man. But yeah, he had nothing, right? And I think that's really, really depicts what it means to give, the fact that he literally had nothing. And I think it's when you hit rock bottom that you really realise what matters and you really realise what counts. And I feel like you become more fearless as well when you kind of feel like you have nothing. Do you know what I mean? You kind of feel like all those small fears just kind of pale into insignificance and you feel like you can really do something, you know. So has anyone ever had something unexpected, nice unexpectedly happen? Like someone will like give you their ticket or something, or offer you their seat, and however small that may be, it like really transforms your day. Or like I had one time I dropped some money or something, and someone literally ran down the road to give it to me. And you always assume someone will take it, like today, right? You just think someone will take it. But when somebody actually goes out of their way to return it to you, it really, really brightens your day. But equally, like if something bad happens, it can really ruin your day. And that has like a Richter effect, and then maybe you'll shout at somebody who will then be upset with somebody else. Do you see what I mean? It's like a domino effect, but we can either choose to tip over the gold ones or the crusty ones, right? So it's a good feeling though to pay it forward. Has anyone seen the movie Pay It Forward at all? But the concept is that you do something nice for 3 other people, who then all do something nice for 3 other people. So in that way you kind of touch the whole world. I don't know, I guess that's the concept, but that you can affect so many people's lives by just doing 3 good things for somebody else, to other people. So the next video is an example of paying it forward, but in a really English, awkward way. And ignore the music, it's really annoying, but the rest of the video is quite good. So what you didn't hear was her sort of like, excuse me, hello? And the woman in the first scene has like headphones in. So it's kind of really kind of this English awkwardness of like, you know, when you kind of want to start a conversation with somebody, but like the Britishness kind of like, is like, no, don't bother them. Anyway, thought that was quite funny. Actually, now we've got the lights on, I want to show the last video actually. I'm sorry. But this one is of some students thanking a security guard, so it's quite short. Hopefully the sound will work.
Got you a little present for the holidays, and this is your following that you have here. And we just all the students came together, and we just want to show you how much we appreciate you and all that you do for us each day, bringing the energy and making our days better. So
we had 150 students come together and just give you a little token of our appreciation that you can open up later, and made a card for you, and we just want to make sure that you know how much we appreciate you and how much we love you.
Tell them how much you raised.
How much weight? 1,600. It's not about the money, it's about how many people donated and how much we appreciate you every day. So thank you very much.
So, just as hate can really spread easily, right? I think that love too can also spread really quickly. So I encourage you not to become like a drone, you know what I mean? And to just kind of conform to, because it's easy, you know, sometimes when I'm walking on the kind of, I don't know, going on the tube or something, and you walk along the many tunnels and you're kind of walking in a line, I feel like, whoa, I'm like a robot, like, how has this happened? You know, obviously I have to walk a certain way, I'm not gonna suddenly walk in the opposite direction just to rebel, but like get on the wrong train just for fun, but do you know what I mean? It's like you're in a massive crowd, everyone has their headphones in, everyone's shut off, and kind of inside all annoyed because the train's late or something. So it's easy to kind of let that rub off on you as someone's sweaty armpit is in your kind of just like this. Because the train's like, I don't know, generally you've got nothing to hold on to, and you're like, please don't stop suddenly, I don't know. Because I'm quite short as well, so I'm kind of like this. But, but hate cannot reside where there is love. So just as it's hard for somebody who's feeling hateful to be around like love, they kind of like recoil and kind of like they can't be around it. But equally, it's really difficult to be around when you're really full of love and you really have God within you. It's hard to be around hatefulness. I think because you then know what it means to feel full properly. Do you know what I mean? So it's easy to lower our standards. So to just drop a piece of rubbish on the floor. It's really easy to spit your gum on the floor, to acknowledge the old lady standing up on the tube, but to just kind of sit in your comfy seat, you know what I mean? It's quite hard to offer your seat sometimes, then you're a bit scared, like, what if she gets offended? Maybe she's like only 40 or something. But maybe, you know, offering that seat will make her feel hope in our generation, or hope in teenagers. Maybe it will change something within her. Maybe picking up the rubbish and putting it in the bin will make the garbage man feel some self-respect, especially doing that kind of job, such as something so menial, right? Maybe not spitting your gum on the floor will make the street look nicer. So every small thing we do affects the bigger picture. And the more we engage with the good, the easier it becomes. And actually the easier life becomes. I think often when life is really difficult, of course there are outside circumstances which make life really, really tough. But I know that in my own life, it's when I'm the most inward and the most insular and kind of isolated, and as in isolated within myself and just looking inward is when I'm the most sad. But it's really hard to engage with other people when I feel that way. But actually it's through that I feel joy and I feel refueled. So please go out there and make that small difference, however small. And I think that's how we can really pioneer and represent true parents, is by behaving that way, because people can learn the DP on paper and in a book, but to learn it through other people is how people have it be tangible in their heart. And if we hurt other people, then the DP kind of, it hurts too in a way, do you know what I mean? It's like, unless we preach through our action, it becomes very hard to grasp the DP, because you need to grasp it up here, but also here, right? So I want to end with a Gandhi quote. So be the change that you want to see in the world. So if you're not seeing goodness around you, then please be that goodness, and please go out there and pioneer and represent your parents in that small way. And that's the sermon for this month. Thank you. Dearest Heavenly Parent, thank you for this day. It can be a struggle to get here, whether that be within our capacity as a sermon giver, or part of the band, or as part of the congregation. In whatever way we contribute, it can be a real battle to get here. And we often think, why is it that I'm here? What is the point in coming to a service? What is the point? And then maybe we'll hear something that strikes something within us, and maybe somebody will say something to us that's meaningful, and maybe that was what makes it worthwhile. So I pray that we can feel propelled into the next month ahead, that whatever troubles we have, whether that be exam study, maybe we feel completely swamped and suffocated by that, and kind of everyone is telling us, oh, don't worry, you'll get your A star, but inside you're thinking, oh my gosh, this is really, really difficult. Maybe we feel compared to other people because everyone else is studying hard and we feel really stupid, even though we're not. Maybe we feel suffocated at home by circumstances. Maybe we feel depressed, or whatever we're going through. Please help us to really seek comfort in you and to not lose hope, because it's when we lose hope that life really stops. So I pray that we can really feel galvanized and empowered throughout this week and this month ahead, to really look forward to the summer and being free of school stress and things like that, and that we can really support each other and really pioneer a new lifestyle and a new standard, Heavenly Parent. Please be with us today, and I'd like to offer this prayer now in my name, Ruth Johnson, wife of Daniel Leiter, blessed and sure couple.